It's 10 o'clock. Now, Fox 35 News at 10.
Developing story that does not bode as well for the new Amway Center. A person is found shot dead just 2 blocks away from the state-of-the-art facility. Check out the map. The 49-year-old man was found shot this morning in the front yard of a home at Terry Avenue in Jackson in the Paramore area. Now that's right near the new Amway Center on Church Street. Police identified the victim as Michael Hudo. He was taken to Orlando Regional Medical Center where he later died. Investigators are still searching for the gunman and a motive. If you have any information whatsoever, call Crime Line. The number, as it always is, 1-800-423-TIPS. You could be eligible for a reward.
Now, we pulled the crime stats for the last year in the area around Amway Center and in downtown, where most people will be parking. There were a total of 499 crimes. 42 of them were aggravated assault. There were 14 robberies and 1 rape. If you extend the border of that search just a few blocks west of Amway Center into Paramore, the number of rapes goes to 6, along with 3 murders. Orlando police say they are taking steps to protect people going to Amway Center. You'll see bike patrols anytime there's an event in the building. Street lights near Amway Center light up the walkways to the parking garages. There are also surveillance cameras that give cops a bird's eye view of everything that's going on. But with even all those safety measures, we know that perception is often reality. And with that murder just 2 blocks away from Amway Center, what do police and the city need to do to reassure people they're safe going to events there? Joining us live in the newsroom is the cop doc, Dr. Richard Weinblatt, former police chief. Richard, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Tom.
I want to start with that murder just a few blocks away. We just touched on it a minute ago. Does this threaten to start Amway Center off with a bad reputation?
I don't think so necessarily, Tom. I mean, as you correctly pointed out, the police are doing a lot. The Orlando Police Department is very, very good at this. This is a tourist town, as we both know, and we want people to feel safe in the city of Orlando. And the crime stats over the years bode well for the city and for the Amway Center. The crime stats have come down.
But in this what have you done for me lately world that we live in, often the last impression is the most important impression. And right now, as we said, we have this murder just a couple of blocks away, and I'm sure a lot of people's eyebrows are perking up at that.
Sure, and they should. People need to be alert. That's part of what you do in preventing a crime from happening to yourself and to your loved ones. The fact that they're putting bicycle officers out, the fact that they have the surveillance cameras, that all helps. But people have to do their part. They have to listen to that inner voice in them. There's a book called The Gift of Fear by Gavin DeBecker, which is a great book, and it talks about that we need to listen to that inner voice. And if you feel uncomfortable walking down a certain block or up a certain alley or something, listen to that inner voice and take a more public route and do things that will bode better for you and for your family.
Richard, you were a police chief. If you were the police chief right now in this city with this event center opening up and this murder that just happened, what would you be doing to make sure that the public perception is where you think you need it to be, that it is safe?
Well, I think Chief Demings is correct in deploying her people the way she has been. I think bike patrols are a wonderful thing. They're high visibility. They can mingle with the people, and they can be seen. And like you said, Tom, perception is reality. And if people perceive that they're safer, I think that that will translate into some reality for those folks. So put more bike officers out there. Put more security folks out there in the Amway Center. Make sure that those cameras are very noticeable because criminals don't tend to like to do things around cameras. Funny how that works out. So they are taking the right steps, and they just need to highlight that, and your newscast is helping to highlight that.
And we've had another large arena for decades in downtown, so this is nothing new having a building like this. But when you open something new with so much fanfare that's going to be bringing even more people to one spot, do you tend to see crime stats jump up just because of the attraction?
Sometimes you do, and sometimes you see the crime stats jump up a little bit more for the very thing that you and I are just discussing now, which is that there's more law enforcement officers. So it's kind of like a tree falls in the woods and there's nobody there to hear it. You don't note it. But if there's lots of people there to hear it, i.e. lots more police officers, you're going to have a lot more crime stats because of that, because they are there and people are more willing to report crimes and officers are observing more crime. You may see, as you correctly pointed out astutely there, Tom, a little bit of a spike, but I don't think it's anything that is going to be bad. I don't think people need to be worried about it. I think they just need to be alert.
Dr. Richard Weinblatt, the Cop Doc, thanks for being here. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Tom.